World is ruling by Shao Kahn. 80% out of 100 is cons. Really don't care about time. Bitter like lime, making sure victory mine. Got the fury like Liu Kang, calling demands like the cues on your blade. Hold Johnny back so he stay in the cage. Raiding his mad, causing thunder and rain. Power and rage, gotta make sure I'm staying with the mission. Fighting for the good, always cause ambition. Health bar full,
Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's your girl Tosh, aka Coco Bone, coming at you guys with not a reaction, but another review video. And this one is to Baddies South episode 4 season 1. Okay, so I don't really see this particular review being so long because Zeus kind of dragged out this episode. They dragged out the whole fight between Rolly and Ann, so I don't know. I don't really see this review being so super long. It might end up being 10 minutes, who knows, but I don't really got too much more else to say. I just want to go ahead and get straight into this review. So let's go ahead and get into this review. So in the first scene, we are picking up from where we last left off on episode 3, where Ann was getting dragged and getting the smack of down put on that ass by Rolly. Okay, Rolly had whooped her ass. Security comes and breaks it up, and Rolly is just going off on how she is sick and tired of Ann being a fucking crybaby, always whining, bitching, moaning, and complaining, and it's just getting really exhausting at this point, honey. That's when you see Roly Poly going outside on the balcony with her wig off, looking just a little bit crazy, but it's all good, sis. I understand it. Okay, sometimes we just can't help what happens. And then Slim goes outside to obviously calm down Rolly. She's telling Rolly, yo, you fucked up. And everybody's saying that Ann got her ass whooped. And I think all of us and the rest of the world can agree that she had got her ass whooped. And the scene pans back to Ann, where Ann is admitting, in her words, that she got the Mario coins beat out of her head. And you know, I'm glad that she knew she got her ass whooped because she knows she can't fucking fight. See, here's the thing with Ann. I really want to like her just for the simple fact that she's a black girl. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to us Nubian queen. But this particular black girl is getting on my fucking nerves with all the extra shit. She's thinking this shit is Bad Girls Club. And bitch, this is Baddies South. And this is a whole new network. This is not none of that television shit that she think it is. Like, girl, you don't have to be so extra and want to fight all the time just to get some airtime. Like, the fuck? You don't see Rolly doing that. If that was the case, Rolly would have whooped everybody's ass. Why are you being so extra for camera time? That's the only issue that I have with Ann. She's too fucking extra, yo. She does too fucking much to get camera time. It's really not that fucking deep. It's really honestly not. Like, she really just needs to chill the fuck out. So at this point, it's just basically panning back and forth between Ann and Rolly. Rolly is outside smoking her Dutch, lighting that shit up to calm the fuck down while she's yelling and still screaming and venting towards Krishawn and Slim. Krishawn is even in her confession saying, listen, if you just don't know how to fight, just stay sucking dick and don't fucking talk. And I totally agree. It's just like, Ann, you know you're not a fighter, baby girl. You don't come from that type of lifestyle. So why the fuck are you up here being extra and doing the most? I really honestly don't fucking know. But, you know, hey, I don't know. Unfortunately, she gonna have to learn the hard way. Or in this case, she did learn the hard way. Hopefully she took a lesson to this, which is to shut her ass the hell up. In the next scene, that's when you see Bree in her room FaceTiming Persuasia, giving her the tea on what happened between Rolly and Ann. And Persuasia just can't believe it. And that's really it for that scene. In the next scene, that's when you see Bree walk out on the balcony where Krishawn, Slim, and Rolly is. Rolly is still screaming at the top of her lungs because she is fucking livid and pissed. And that's when Slim had decided to make a comment or a statement and say that she can understand where Ann was coming from as far as with not wanting her enemy next to her shit. And of course, Rolly did not take too kindly to that statement in the midst of her being mad. And that's when she tells Slim, if you feel like you understand where she coming from, your ass can go with her and y'all can go together and go right off into the sunset. Because Rolly's standpoint of view, I ain't gonna lie, as a fellow earth sign myself, which is Taurus, I understand kind of where Rolly was coming from. I also understood what Slim was saying and about not having an enemy next to my shit. I understand that, and that makes logical sense. But loyalty-wise, bitch, don't tell me that you understand what the fuck my enemy is saying. Bitch, you're my friend. Have my motherfucking back. The fuck? And there's gonna be some of y'all out here like,
well, that's being biased. That don't even make no sense.
no, but it's the principle though. Like, wait until I've calmed down to talk to me about your opinion. Don't wait until I'm in a fucking rage. You see, I'm still raging. I'm trying to calm the fuck down, and you want to make that statement about taking my enemy's side on what the fuck she's saying? No, fuck that bitch. I said what the fuck I said, and your ass should be on what the fuck I said, okay? It's called loyalty. Don't sit up here and tell me nothing good about my motherfucking enemy. If that's my enemy, that should be your enemy too. To each his own. Some of y'all will ride with your friend's enemy. Others, like myself, bitch, if my friend ain't fucking with you, I'm not fucking with you. And that's what it is, okay? To y'all, it's petty and biased. To me, it's loyalty to the fucking end of me. And that's just how I roll. I can't help that. Another reason why I'm not too fond of my so-called friend, in quotation marks, hanging out with my enemy is because I don't need her trying to plot something against me if she's supposed to be my friend. Y'all gotta be careful of that too, honey. In the next scene, that's when you see it's now Slim and Rolly still on the balcony, but this time by themselves. And that's when Slim is crying to Rolly, letting her know she didn't appreciate her calling her out like that. And surprisingly, Slim starts to cry, which is very shocking because she always acted like a grown-ass man in a skinny woman body. But yeah, she ends up crying to Rolly, saying she didn't appreciate that statement of telling her to go hang out with Ann since she feels like she understands where she's coming from. Rolly then calms down fully, accepts her apology, and those two have made up. I really do like how them two had made up because it goes to show that no matter what, yes, every single friendship, every single romance ship, you know, lover, whatever, like every single relationship that you're gonna have with people in life, sometimes you guys are not gonna always agree on things. But the mature and the most loving and honest way to go about that is to agree to disagree as grown-ass adults, and you move the hell on. You don't have to fight each other just because y'all don't agree on something. So I really loved how the way Slim and Rolly had, you know, got that all back together between those two. That was real friendship. That's real love. In the next scene, that's when you see Jayla, Krishan, and Ann all in the room now talking amongst each other. And it gets leaked out by Ann that she has made a comment about how Jayla was messy with Natalie as far as with the beef between Persuasia and Krishan. And Krishan and Jayla is now kind of getting offended because from Krishan's point of view, how the fuck is Jayla being messy when Krishan is friends with Jayla? And then from Jayla's point of view, how is she messy when she was just trying to be a friend to Krishan and let Krishan know what was X, Y, and Z? And whatever Krishan decided to do with that information has absolutely nothing no longer to do with Jayla. So I can understand where Krishan and Jayla was coming from with that point. But, you know, on the flip side, I do agree with Ann. You know, it's like the more that these episodes are going to go on and on and on, Jayla is a little bit, tad bit messy. And surprisingly, for her to come off as this strong black woman, she sure is like being like Natalie's minion, in my opinion. Like, I don't understand how someone as beautiful and strong as Jayla is like sitting up here being Natalie's minion all for some camera time on Zeus Network on the show Baddies South. It's just so fucking weird to me because Jayla comes off as this independent, strong black woman that thinks for herself, and she sounds like she has a lot of common sense, but I do, in my opinion, feel like she's dumbing herself down just a little teeny tiny bit just to have some airtime on this show. And you know, Ann had made that insult towards Jayla, saying that you're just looking for some camera time, which I do kind of believe she is trying to look for camera time a little bit. However, on the flip side, Ann just don't know when to shut the fuck up, man. And she can admit that her mouth do be getting her into trouble, but sweetheart, since you know that, you need to know when to shut the fuck up. It's good that you know your mouth gets you into trouble, because I also have that problem as well. But I had to know when to be honest and when to not be honest. It's not about being honest is a bad thing. This whole thing of you telling people how you feel when everyone on this fucking planet is gonna tell you how the fuck they feel, even though they know it's wrong, but they still gonna do it anyway. You can tell other people how you feel. Be as honest as you can be, but it's all about when to be honest. And that's what I had to learn as my life goes on. I gotta pick and choose the right time and when to be honest. Unfortunately, the fake ass, mood swing having ass world that we live in, every single time when you give back somebody a taste of their own medicine, they can never take that shit the fuck back. So you just gotta pick a time and a place when to keep it real with somebody. Anyway, in the next scene, that's when you see Jayla and Krishan getting on Ann's ass for all the bullshit that has been transpiring in this conversation. Ann finally decides to go upstairs while Jayla is still downstairs running her mouth until she hears the door shut, and then she walks off, and that's it for that argument. In the next scene, that's when you see Persuasion coming from the hospital. There's really not much to talk about there. Her eye is fine, and honestly, nobody kind of really cares. I'm glad that she cares though. Her eye is fine, and that's really it for that scene. In the next scene, that's when you see Bree, Rolly, Slim, Krishan, and Jayla all in the kitchen. Just basically, long story short, recapping about how everything went before the other girls came into the kitchen. Jayla and Krishan was Xing people off of their imaginary list and checking people off of their imaginary list of who they still fuck with. However, Slim is starting to also see that Jayla is messy as fuck. And as I said before, she is coming off as messy as fuck / minion. She's giving Natalie Nunn's minion. That's what she's giving me. Like, the fuck? Anyway, that's when Rolly and Slim decided to go back out on the balcony to smoke the rest of their weed, which I don't blame them, honey, especially living in that stressful ass house. Bree went off somewhere else, and that was really the end for that scene. So in the last scene, that's when we get introduced to this new baddie that's coming onto the scene, Scotty Too Hottie with the body. And I will admit, she is bad as fuck. She is cute. I didn't like how she said the word niggas in her confessional, trying to introduce herself, talking about,
oh yeah, yeah, that's right. I be having all the niggas and the bitches staring at me.
like, sweetheart, I get it. You're bad. You're cute. We get it. But bitch, don't say nigga, because from what I'm looking at, bitch, you're not black. Don't fucking say nigga. Yes, I said it. The fuck? Like, anyway, you guys, she is cute and she seems like a good vibe so far. So after Scotty Too Hottie is like introducing herself to everybody, Krishan is not fucking feeling her whatsoever. Like, Scotty makes a comment talking about something, yeah, I can help y'all get money. And Krishan was like, nigga, I don't need you for money. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was funny as fuck, man. That shit was fucking hilarious. But yo, like, yo, I'm just hoping Krishan do not beat her the fuck up. Because I'm not gonna lie, she could shock me and come out of nowhere with the knockers, you know, the boop boop, bing, you know what I'm saying? Like, she could come out with a 3-piece biscuit meal on the side. I don't motherfucking know, honey. Like, who knows? She might have hands, she might not have hands, but it looked like Krishan is not feeling her vibe from the rig. On the flip side, I don't understand why Krishan took it as like, oh, she came in here and said, oh, I'm gonna run the house. She didn't say she's gonna run the house. She just said she runs the South. Like, Krishan, it's a difference, boo. I love you, but come on. That part, you was being just a little extra on, boo. But anyway, you guys, the episode ends there, and that is it for this episode. I don't got nothing else more to say. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, show your girl some love, help your girl get to 2,000 subs. Make sure to leave some suggestions down in the comment section down below, and please give me a big thumbs up, for it helps to push my videos further out into the algorithm. I'm out this bitch. Deuces.